What's good, YouTube? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and listen to Real Talk with Miles Johnson. And today's episode, we're going to talk about why, if the Nets win the championship this year, it does not enhance KD's legacy at all. Hey, yo, look, I know I got my KD fans in here, and what I'm saying, I know y'all might get mad, but look. So when KD, obviously we all know he joined the Warriors, that he was up 3-1. They came back and beat him, and then he ended up joining the team that beat him that same season, right? Or that next, in that off season. Now he has gone to the Nets, and last year, Kyrie was in there, and it was just him, and it was Karis LeVert, all them guys, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen. And coming into this season, I'm thinking, they have KD, they have Kyrie, they have Karis LeVert, they got Spencer Dinwiddie, but before he got injured, they had Jared Allen, Jeff Green, Joe Harris. They had a squad. You could really pick them either way. Who you have going, who you have winning the title. Obviously, we had more people saying that the Lakers would probably win. But that was just because it was a level playing field, and people just thought, you know what, LeBron's gonna take it home. But I think KD realized, I can't beat LeBron with this squad we have now. So the Nets organization ended up making that trade for James Harden, later on this season. And since then, Harden has been balling out. He has looked like an MVP candidate, and until he got injured a couple of days ago, I think he could have very well have won the MVP, but now there's no way that he could win it now. But the fact that Harden has carried this team, that when KD's absence, they were the number one seed. I don't know if they still are right now. Matter of fact, we better check right now. Matter of fact, the Nets are 36-16, so they have the number one record in the East. Number one record in the East, and KD has barely played. And I just feel like they're doing something like rotation, or I don't know what they're doing. But they have KD out, Harden's in. Now Harden's out, KD's in. Is it a coincidence? I don't know, but they up to something, bro. They up to something. But I say this all to say is, I don't know if the reason why KD left Golden State was to prove that he can win a chip on his own. And what I mean by winning a chip on your own, I'm not actually talking about you're the only guy you're the only contributor on the team, like you have to have scrubs on your team. I'm not saying that. But when LeBron went from Miami to Cleveland and won a championship with the Cavs in 2016, bro, he proved that he can win a championship kind of like on his own. He didn't need a super duper team like he had in Miami, whatever. But KD, he had a super duper team with the Warriors, right? And I thought that by him going to the Nets, he was proving, you know what, me and Kyrie, we got this, and we're going to take down Bron. But then they add James Harden, they add LaMarcus Aldridge, they add Blake Griffin. They had all these pieces, and it's like, at this point, you might as well should have just stayed in Golden State, because the narrative of you stacking the deck to get a championship isn't going to go away. I believe that if the Nets win the championship this season, people will not look at KD differently. Like, if they just whop the East, if they just sweep everybody in the East, and if they just sweep the Lakers or beat them in 5 games, it's kind of just like, you know what, y'all have James Harden, Kyrie, or you have James Harden and Kyrie, not to mention Marcus Aldridge off the bench, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. This team literally has 6 players that have had multiple All-NBA selections, right? That's never happened in NBA history. This is probably the most talented roster in the history of the NBA. So I'm like, if you already joined, if in the past you have already joined a 73-9 team, why would you go somewhere else and then just stack the deck again? That just doesn't make any sense if your main goal was to try and win a championship, or have the perception be that you had won a championship kind of like on your own. Because they didn't have to add James Harden. Nobody had a big 3. The Clippers, they had Kawhi and Paul George. The Lakers, they had LeBron and AD. The Suns, they have Chris Paul and Devin Booker. The Sixers, they have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Who in the NBA has a big 3 like the Nets? Nobody, bro. But they want to stack the deck because they know that they cannot beat Bron. And I'm trying to tell y'all, this is not going to enhance KD's legacy. Especially, and I mean especially, if James Harden gets MVP, bro. This might even tarnish KD's legacy. If if James Harden gets MVP and the Nets win this title, it will tarnish his legacy, bro. Like, you might as well just not even get a chip, bro. You might as well not even get a chip, because people are gonna be like, man, you got carried by the Warriors and then you got carried by James Harden, right? So if I'm KD, I would have just been like, you know what? I'm gonna rock out with my squad, with Kyrie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, all of them, because that team, bro, that was a good squad. You can't tell me that's not a good squad. That's not a championship squad. I also see all they needed was a big man, and they was gonna be cool because DeAndre Jordan, that he can't be playing 35 minutes a night, right? I feel like if KD was rocking with the squad that they had in the beginning of the season, if he won a chip with them, people would be like, all right, I gotta give you credit. But now it's like you have this super duper team, right? The super duper team is like, I mean, you gotta win now. It's like it's gonna be an epic fail, whatever, if y'all don't win the chip this year. If y'all don't get to the finals and win the chip. So I would say for KD, first off, you better win the chip, and you better not have James Harden be MVP, because that will definitely tarnish your legacy if James Harden is the MVP of the finals, because it will look like he has carried your squad, that he's the best player on your team. And no, KD is the best player on the team, but he has a stacked roster, and if he was going to just do this from the jump, he might as well should have just stayed in Golden State. So let me know in the comments down below, will a Nets title really affect KD's legacy, or will it enhance his legacy? Let me know down below. I say no, but I want to hear y'all's opinions on it though. With that being said, y'all, we out.